Chapter 3 Kinetic Theory of Gases and Radiation. In this lecture, we will discuss about spectral distribution of black body radiation, Wien's displacement law, and about Stefan Boltzmann's law of radiation. Now, spectral distribution of black body radiation. The radiant energy emitted per unit area per unit time by the black body depends on its temperature. If temperature is more, then black body radiates more heat energy. If the temperature is less, then radiant power emitted by the black body is less. Hot bodies radiate electromagnetic radiation in the large range of frequencies, that is, wavelength is short. Hence, the rate of emission per unit area of a surface is defined as the function of the wavelength lambda of emitted radiation. At low temperature, the power radiated is small and lies in the long wavelength region. When temperature is low, the emitted waves has longer wavelength. As the temperature is increased, the rate of emission increases fast. At each temperature, the radiant energy contains a mixture of different wavelengths. See here, at low temperature, here temperature is 3000 Kelvin, here temperature is 5500 Kelvin. Temperature is less, then power emitted, it is less. Here a radiant power, here wavelength. Along y-axis we have radiant power, along x-axis we have wavelength. If temperature is small, radiant power emitted is small. If temperature is large, radiant power emitted is large. As temperature increases, this rate of radiation increases. At each temperature, here wavelength increases in this direction. For any temperature, at each temperature, radiant energy contains mixture of different wavelengths. Here the wavelength range, it contains mixture of different wavelengths. At higher temperature, the total energy radiated per unit time increases, and the portion of energy emitted at higher frequencies or shorter wavelength also increases. Here wavelength increases in this direction. Temperature is small, the wavelength is large. If temperature increases, then this wavelength decreases in this direction. Here wavelength decreases in this direction. Hence, at higher temperature, the total energy radiated per unit time increases, and the portion of energy emitted at higher frequencies, that is shorter wavelength, also increases. For 3000 Kelvin, wavelength is here. For 5500 Kelvin, the wavelength starts from here, means this portion where the wavelength is short, this also increases. The scientists Lamar and Pringsheim studied energy distribution of black body radiation as a function of wavelength. They kept the source of radiation at a different temperature and measured the radiant power corresponding to different wavelengths. The measurements were represented graphically in the form of curves. Experimental observation indicated that the spectral distribution depends only on the absolute temperature T of the black body and was independent of the material. Here there is an experimental arrangement used by Lamar and Pringsheim. He used a cavity radiations or here heated carbon tube. Temperature of this source can be changed and the radiant power is measured here. From this curve, we can conclude that the first conclusion, at the given temperature, energy is not uniformly distributed in the spectrum of the black body. Temperature 3000 Kelvin, energy first increases with increase first increases with increase in wavelength, reaches the maximum value and then decreases. That is, it is not constant. Radiant power, it is along y-axis, wavelength it is along x-axis. If there is uniform distribution, then graph will be parallel to the wavelength axis, but here there is no parallel straight line graph which is parallel to wavelength axis. Here the energy is not uniformly distributed. Second, at a given temperature, the radiant power emitted initially increases with increase in wavelength, reaches its maximum and then decreases. The wavelength corresponding to the maximum intensity of radiation, that is lambda max, it is the characteristic of the temperature of the radiating body. That is, when at a given temperature, that is for 3000 Kelvin, this radiant power increases with increase in wavelength, reaches this maximum value and then decreases with increase in wavelength. For 5500 Kelvin, this radiant power increases with increase in wavelength, reaches this maximum value and then decreases with increase in wavelength. This wavelength corresponding to radiation of maximum intensity, that is for 3000 Kelvin, maximum intensity is here. This wavelength corresponding to this maximum intensity depends upon the temperature of the radiating body. For 5500 Kelvin, this is the lambda max, that is the wavelength corresponding to maximum intensity. Here it also depends upon the temperature. Third, the area under the curve represents total energy emitted per unit time per unit area by the black body at all the wavelength. That is for 3000 Kelvin. This area under the curve represents the amount of radiant energy emitted per unit time per unit area. For 5000 Kelvin, this area under the curve, represents the total energy emitted per unit time per unit area by the black body at all the wavelengths. Fourth conclusion, the peak of the curves shifts toward the left. Shorter wavelength, that is the value of lambda max, decreases with increasing temperature. Lambda max, it is the wavelength corresponding to maximum intensity of radiation. For 3000 Kelvin, this is the maximum intensity of the radiation. The wavelength corresponding to this is now here. For 5000 Kelvin, this is the maximum intensity of the radiation. The wavelength corresponding to this is here. This shifts towards the shorter wavelength side with increase in temperature. As this temperature increases, then lambda max decreases, that it shifts towards the shorter wavelength side. For the temperature 3000 Kelvin, the lambda max has the value 966 nanometer. For 4000 Kelvin, 724 nanometer. For 5000 Kelvin, 580 nanometer, and for 5500 Kelvin, it is 530 nanometer. As this temperature increases, this lambda max decreases, that is, the wavelength corresponding to maximum intensity of radiation decreases with increase in temperature. Fifth conclusion, at higher temperature, the radiant power, that is the area under the curve corresponding to all wavelengths, increases. That is, for 3000 Kelvin, this area under the curve is here. For 4000 Kelvin, this area under the curve increases. For 5000 Kelvin, this area under the curve increases. For 5500 Kelvin, this area under the curve increases. That is, at higher temperature, the radiant power, that is the area under the curve corresponding to all wavelength increases, that is as temperature increases this area under the curve also increases. The sixth conclusion, at a temperature of 300 Kelvin, that is room temperature near about 27 degrees centigrade, the most intense of these waves have a wavelength of about 5 into 10 raised to minus 6 meter. The radiant power is smaller for the wavelengths different from this value. Practically all the radiant energy is at this temperature is carried by the waves longer than those corresponding to the red light. These are infrared radiations. The existing theories were unable to explain the above observations. Wien, Rayleigh, James Jean Planck tried to explain it. According to Wien, he used the laws of thermodynamics. Rayleigh and James Jean used the equipartition of energy. Wien displacement law. The wavelength for which emissive power is maximum is inversely proportional to the absolute temperature. Lambda max, it is the wavelength corresponding to maximum intensity of the radiation. T, it is the absolute temperature. According to Wien's displacement law, this lambda max is inversely proportional to the absolute temperature. That is lambda max directly proportional to 1 divided by T. That is lambda max, it is equal to B divided by T, or lambda max into T, it is equal to B. That is the product of wavelength corresponding to maximum intensity of the radiation and the absolute temperature is constant. This constant B is called as Wien's constant. The value of Wien's constant is 2.897 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter Kelvin. The dimensions of Wien's constant are 1 in length, 0 in mass, 0 in time, and 1 in temperature. When temperature is large, wavelength is small. When temperature is small, wavelength is large. Lambda max into T, it is equal to constant. If T increases, then lambda max decreases. That is, when temperature is small, in general color of the object is red. When temperature is high, this color goes in this direction. For 10,000 Kelvin, white dwarfs, 3,000 red giants. These are the colors of the stars and their temperature. This law is useful to determine the temperature of distant star, sun and moon. When temperature is large, color, that is indigo white. When temperature is small, wavelength is large and the color is red. Joseph Stephan proposed an empirical relation between the rate at which heat is radiated from unit area of a perfectly black body and its temperature based on the experimental observations. He stated that the rate of emission of radiant energy per unit area or the power radiated per unit area of a perfectly black body is directly proportional to the fourth power of its absolute temperature. If R, it is the radiant power emitted per unit area and T is the absolute temperature of the body, then according to Stephan-Boltzmann law, R directly proportional to T raised to 4, or R, it is equal to sigma into T raised to 4, where sigma is the Stephan's constant. This sigma has the value 5.67 into 10 raised to minus 8 watt per meter square Kelvin raised to 4, or joule per second meter square Kelvin raised to 4. The dimensions of sigma are the dimensions of R divided by dimensions of T raised to 4. R it is equal to sigma into T raised to 4. Therefore, sigma it is equal to R divided by T raised to 4. Hence, dimensions of sigma are the dimensions of immersive power divided by dimensions of this temperature. That is, emissive power has the dimensions 0 in length, 1 in mass, minus 3 in time, and dimension of the temperature is 0 in length, 0 in mass, 0 in time, and 4 in temperature. Therefore, dimensions of sigma are 0 in length, 1 in mass, minus 3 in temperature, and minus 3 in time, and minus 4 in temperature. Again, the dimensions of sigma are 0 in length, 1 in mass, minus 3 in time, and minus 4 in temperature. Thus, the power radiated by the perfectly black body depends upon its temperature and not on other characteristics such as color, material, nature of the surface. Now, we know that this radiant power emitted per unit area, that is the emissive power, it is equal to Q divided by A into T. This emissive power of a perfectly black body, Q divided by A into T, it is equal to sigma into T raised to 4. Here T it is the time interval and this T it is the absolute temperature. For non-black bodies, this radiant power it is equal to E sigma T raised to 4, or according to Kirchhoff's law, E it is equal to A coefficient of emission, it is equal to coefficient of absorption, R it is equal to A sigma T raised to 4. To find the rate of loss of heat, let T it is the absolute temperature of the perfectly black body. It is placed in a surrounding having absolute temperature T0. T it is the absolute temperature of perfectly black body. T0 is the absolute temperature of the surrounding. Now, according to Stephen's law of radiation, the energy radiated per unit area per unit time, it is equal to sigma into T raised to 4. Assuming surrounding to be perfectly black, it also emits heat energy, and this energy emitted it is equal to sigma into T0 raised to 4. This energy falls on this perfectly black body. As it is perfectly black body, it absorbs all the energy which is incident on it from the surrounding. The energy incident on it per unit time per unit area, it is sigma T0 raised to 4, and which is absorbed by the perfectly black body. Therefore, the energy absorbed per unit area per unit time, it is equal to sigma T0 raised to 4. The energy emitted radiated, it is equal to sigma T raised to 4. Energy absorbed by the PBB per unit area per unit time, it is equal to sigma T0 raised to 4. Therefore, there is net loss in the energy of the perfectly black body per unit area per unit time, and it is equal to sigma T raised to 4 minus sigma T0 raised to 4. Taking sigma common, sigma T raised to 4 minus T0 raised to 4, sigma T raised to 4 minus T0 raised to 4. For ordinary body, net loss of the energy per unit area per unit time, it is equal to E sigma T raised to 4 minus T0 raised to 4. Instead of this E, we can use A sigma T raised to 4 minus T0 raised to 4. If T is less than T0, then there will be net gain. If T is less than T0, there will be net gain in the thermal energy of the body per unit area per unit time. In while deriving this, we consider that this body is kept in the cooler surrounding of absolute temperature T0. Therefore, there is net loss in the heat energy of the body, and this net loss, it is equal to sigma T raised to 4 minus T0 raised to 4. When the body's temperature is less than the surrounding temperature, then there will be net gain in the thermal energy of the body per unit area per unit. Let T1 it is the initial temperature, T2 it is the new temperature, T2 it is equal to twice T1, then T2 divided by T1 it is equal to 2. According to Stephens-Boltzmann's law, rate of radiation ratio R2 divided by R1 it is equal to T2 divided by T1 raised to 4. That is R2 upon R1 it is equal to T2 raised to 4 divided by T1 raised to 4. That is T2 upon T1 raised to 4. T2 upon T1 that is equal to 2 raised to 4, that is equal to 16. Thus, if the absolute temperature is doubled, the power radiated will increase by a factor of 2 raised to 4, that is 16. If the room temperature is increased by 57 degrees centigrade, let T1 that is the room temperature, it is 27 degrees centigrade, then absolute temperature T1 it is equal to 27 plus 273, that is 300 Kelvin. Now this temperature is increased by 57 degrees centigrade, then T2 it is equal to 273 plus this 84 degrees centigrade, 27 plus 57 that is equal to 84 degrees centigrade. T2 that is absolute temperature is 84 plus 273, that is 357 Kelvin. Therefore, the ratio of rates of radiation are R2 divided by R1 it is equal to T2 upon T1 raised to 4, that is equal to 357 divided by 300 raised to 4. Here it is 1.19, near about 1.2 raised to 4. 1.2 into 1.2 into 1.2 into 1.2, that is 1.2 into 1.2, that is equal to 1.44, that is 1.44 into 1.44, it is nearly equal to 1.96, that is equal to 2. Thus the rate doubles.